Hello, good evening, welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself on the show this evening. It's all Ben and Linda. Evening, boys and girls.
Evening, Linda. Evening, Ox. How are you doing?
Evening, Ox. Yeah, evening, all Bear. Hope you're well. Hope everyone listening's well too.
How are you, all Bear? How are you?
I'm good, mate. Aye, fantastic. And out the weather, under the bed, out the way.
Aye, all right. Aye. I thought you might have been building an ark this afternoon, something today.
I've got a bird there. I've got a bird that looks like Moses. How do I know what Moses looks like?
Moses.
What am I talking about? I'm off again.
That's a new film, Moses in the Ark.
Moses in the Ark, aye. I mean, you know who I mean.
How are you, Linda?
Yeah, very well, Ox. Looking forward to the game tomorrow night, getting a wee break from Scottish football and just a nice European game. I saw some pictures coming in there from Dortmund, so the weather looks as bad over there as it is here.
Yeah, it's they've been known to get bad weather in that part of the world, didn't they?
Yeah, definitely. Looked awful.
You know, but when you say you're looking forward to it, is it a nervous looking forward to it because it's a big game? Is it the change?
I think it's the change, Ox. I think sometimes with Scottish football, you just feel as if sometimes you get a wee bit bogged down with it, don't you? Just all the circus that comes with it, I think. Obviously it's tight in the league and we obviously did well to get through in the cup as well and you want to do well in your home competitions, but I think the European games bring a wee bit of freshness, Ox, if that makes sense, and you look forward to playing. We're obviously playing against a good opponent as well, and it's going to be interesting to see how the team fares, isn't it?
Aye, well, it's, if you like, and I don't know what you think, but we want to win every game, home and away. But it's a free hit because we're playing a team that's been in the top tier of European football for maybe the last 30 years. So we've had what we've had, and we're back and we're competing at them. We'll see what it takes us, mate.
That's it. No, I mean, you definitely want to win the game, but we're not under any illusions that we're playing a team that's probably maybe 2, possibly 3 levels above us. No, I mean, there's no doubt about that. Established for many years in the Champions League, UEFA Cup, where we were away in the wilderness, as it were. But you want to win, of course you do. But it's a free hit, as you say. It's a free hit. It definitely is. Go and enjoy it. If you're going to be experimental, now's the time to do it, as far as I'm concerned. And if you're wanting your players fit and ready for the league campaign, which is the most important thing, is get them out the night, get them playing the night. I mean, I would play Ramsey for the start, for example, and Helander. I would use it. There's a good one of the questions I want to ask is how many subs is it? The 5?
Don't ask too many questions, but have you looked at the panel?
Oh, I know. I was hoping Linda would answer that. I wasn't letting much hope out for you.
Rely on Ox.
Don't rely on me, Linda. The people can phone in tonight. Of course, we decided before the show. I think you're taking DIY, Linda, and Albert, you're taking the relationships. Is that right?
That makes sense.
Oh, definitely, aye.
That could be a whole different show. But I'll tell you all day. We'll hear from the manager, and we'll get the ball rolling if that's all right with you too.
Absolutely.
Sounds great. Brilliant.
Right, okay. Get yourself a minute and let's hear from your gaffer, Giovanni Van Bronckhorst.
Mr. Van Bronckhorst, you're likely to face a kid or a former kid that you know very well, Gio Reyna, on the pitch. Can you please describe your relationship that you have for a long time, how he was in your house, how you helped him to comfort himself when he came to Europe, and what it means to face him in this encounter today or tomorrow?
Well, it's, I played with his father, Claudio, and I'm very good friends with the whole family, actually, for many years. And Gio, I know from the day he was born. So I have a special relationship with him as a friend, but also as a player, because he, as you said, he came to Holland quite a lot to train with our youth academy at Feyenoord. So he was in our house, and we were trying to help him to get the player to be the player he is now. And So always kept in contact, always saw each other, at least once a year. And, it's a special bond I have with the Rainer family, and will be special for, I think, for both of us to play against each other. And so hopefully, it's a good game. And, the competitors we are, we want to win, but it's obviously a very special moment.
Hi Giovanni, I was just wondering how big a step up this is for Rangers this season in terms of this quality of opposition and how you deal with that.
Well, it's, we're playing against one of the top sides in Europe. It's, of course, it's very nice for us to be still involved in Europe. So, when you are involved in Europe after the winter break, you're gonna play against a very good opposition. So we are relishing the challenge to play against a top side, and we just go out and try to go to the next round. So for us, it's a challenge and very good to be involved still in Europe.
Hi Gio, Dortmund have a pretty poor defensive record in the Bundesliga. You'll know that they like to commit a lot of men to the turnover to try and win the ball back high. Is that an area that you think your team could have some success in the transitional moments tomorrow?
Well, I think those moments are always very special and very important in games, and especially against good sides. You don't, get a lot of chances, and those are moments you can create some danger. Of course, we have analyzed Dortmund very well. They won the weekend with 3-0, but had a spell was I think less than they wanted, but I think it's still a quality side with good players, good coach. So it will be a difficult game for us, but a game we want to play and relish.
Hi Giovanni, can you give us an update on Ryan Jack's fitness? Is he going to be available for both legs? Leon Balogun also. And can you just confirm, is Philippe Hollander not in your Europa squad?
Well, Philip is not in our squad. We have limited spaces, unfortunately, to get players registered. So for me to put Hollander out was a difficult decision, of course, because I know he's a very important player still for us. But we only played the first 60 minutes after so many months, so. He's not in the squad. Leon is not available for tomorrow. Hopefully he will be available for next week. And Ryan trained as normal the last couple of days, so is fit to come with us to Germany.
What are the kind of main differences in terms of the outlook? Because you're not going to have as much possession, and obviously the defence might have to sit a bit deeper.
Obviously, all European games are different. I think they're very different to domestic games. I think the European games, the opposition play a different way. But as the boss says, we've analysed that. We'll go out and try and do our best. Obviously, you want to try and win every game, although it will be difficult because of a top opposition. But I think the sort of way the game goes in Europe is different than domestic.
A lot said about the Westfalenstadion and the atmosphere there. There's only going to be 10,000 supporters there, whereas you'll have 50,000 supporters at Ibrox next week. Could that play into your hands at all in this tie?
Well, of course, it's different to play for 10,000 people than with a full stadium. We know the differences. We had those games in the season also with both. Full stadiums and less crowd, but still we're facing a good team so for me that's no difference. We just have to go out and perform. It's two games. We know we have the game in hand next week at home, so we want to have a good result to take back with us to Rangers. As good as possible. So, and next week we have the second game at home with full capacity and full crowd, full backing. So the difference is there, but our aim is the same, to get the best result possible.
It looks as if Haaland is going to be missing the game for Dortmund. I wonder how big a factor you think that is, and how you approach the game
is there an element of relief that you won't be coming up against him?
Well, I mean, it's, no doubt everyone recognizes the talent he has, the player he is. I mean, he's one of the top strikers in the world. So, yes, of course, it's for us, it's just a case to also prepare the game without him. I mean, Dortmund had been playing without him for weeks. So for me, that's, just prepare the players in which opposition we will face, also the qualities of the players. So looks like he's almost back to play, but everyone recognizes his talent, but we have to prepare the game in which players we face, and it looks like he won't be in the squad tomorrow. But if he is, we're gonna prepare as well if he was playing. So. But the quality he has, I mean, there's no doubt he is a good player.
Morning, Gio. Alfredo Morelos has enjoyed a superb run under yourself. For a game like this, do yourself and Roy and your staff, do you coach him specifically for a role, or do you allow him to play his natural game to seek out the areas where he enjoys playing?
I think it's a combination. Of course, you have players who will play, with their intuition at moments of the game, and I think we have to give that freedom to players, not only to Alfredo, but also, especially of course the strikers. So they will have, they are able to play with intuition, but you want to have your shape, you want to have your defensive and offensive shape as a team, and Alfredo has a big role in that. So yes, of course, at moments he has to take the position we want him to become dangerous and to become better and better shaped as a team. But there are moments he has freedom to do whatever he feels, in those situations. He's one of the players who can do that. We have, especially strikers. Ryan is also a player who has the freedom to do whatever in areas we want him to be. So I think it's a combination.
Against a team of the calibre of Dortmund, kind of favourites to win the Europa League, do you learn so much about your players? Is this the kind of game you want to be playing in for that reason?
I mean, well, we are football players. We are managers. We want to play against best opposition possible in all the competition we have. So I think it's normal. You want to. You are a player to live the moments we are facing now, playing in Europa League, playing against Borussia Dortmund. Those are the games you want. And so that's why you work hard, from when you're young to be able to play these games. So yes, everyone is excited and ready to play this game against a big opposition in a nice stadium. So we have to make sure we are going to enjoy the game and make sure we are good prepared and try to win this tie. So. That's what you want in life. That's what you want in football, to have challenges, to face challenges, and to overcome the challenges.
Hi, Gio. You spoke last week about Alfredo's contract situation and hoping to open discussions with him. Joe Aribo and Ryan Kent also in a similar situation. Are they two players who you have spoken to about extending their contracts, or do you plan to do that anytime soon?
No, I haven't spoken with them about extending contracts or new talks. I mean, that's something obviously the club will do in the near future. So, it's just make sure we have the future well planned. Of course, these are players who are very important for our club, for our team. So, I think the talks will begin, but it's obviously the players with these qualities you want to have as long as possible with your club.
Well, thanks for that, Fox. No, a lot of clues in there, apart from Phil Hollander is not in the squad, which we knew. Everybody else lined Jacks up for selection. So Your guess is as good as mine for the team tomorrow night, Linda.
Yeah, I think so. Obviously, with Balogun being out, it's a bit of a blow, but I think we all kind of expected that, didn't we? So you're maybe thinking that the back four kind of picks itself in terms of who's available. The midfield slightly a bit more difficult to pick, maybe. And obviously, we've got some options up front. So it'll be difficult to actually get the team right, I think, for tomorrow night, maybe in terms of what Gio will eventually pick. I think apart from that, kind of the goalkeeper in the back four.
Alan McGregor's very good at the media work. I think he could take it for Chris Boyd as time moves on all better. He seems to enjoy it.
He could go on here, do the squad. He knows more about it than me. I thought Helander was available.
No, he's not in the squad, mate.
I know. That's disappointing, that.
Aye, you'll be disappointed. Liz will be disappointed. I think different reasons for you, of course, but that's another story. Right, okay, Albert, I'm going to ask you, give us your team.
Okay,
I'm waiting for this.
Easy. That's pipes. McGregor, Tav, Golson, Balogun, Bassey, Lundstrom, Jack, Sakala, Ramsey, Diallo, is that his name? And Morelos up front.
I think he's got possibly the first 7. Linda, thoughts?
Well, I've gone for something different, but I did swither on that. I can understand why Albert's gone for that team. I've gone for Tav, Golson, Bassey, Barisic, McGregor's in goals. I've gone for Jack, Aribo and Kamara, and my front three are Arfield, Morelos and Kent. But I wouldn't be that disappointed if Diallo and Ramsey started. But I just, as I say, that's the team I've gone for.
Okay, I'm thinking about it slightly different. I've got the same back 5, if that's the same as everybody. Obviously Bassey in at centre half, with Golson and Borna and Tav, fullbacks Allen in goal, and then I'm with Albert. I've got Jack and Lundstrom, in front of Glenn Kamara, Joe Aribo, Aaron Ramsey with Morelos up front, with Kent got none leash to win the tie for us in the last 30 minutes. There you go.
Interesting.
Win the game. There you go. Yeah. I don't know.
I don't think he'll play. I don't think he'll play Kamara and Aribo. I really don't, because this team press, and they two don't follow the runners. And in a pressing game like that, you need everybody to follow the runners.
I think the two of them are pretty much a certainty to start in some role, Linda.
Yeah, I can see where Albert's coming from, because actually, Albert, I don't know if you agree, but I don't think Aribo's been playing as well since he came back from the AFCON, and he probably is tired, maybe even. He's not had a break. Didn't really get a winter break, did he? But so I can see that why you wouldn't have him in the team. The reason I've kind of gone for Jack, Aribo and Kamara in that midfield, because they have served us quite well in Europe before. It's a combination that's that they have played together. But I can see why you would actually start Ramsey as well, Ox, because he did get a good 60, obviously in the cup game. And these are the big games that we've brought him for, isn't it? It's just starting the game, I'm still not sure if he's fit enough to do that. But if he's fit enough for the bench, maybe it's time to throw him in.
Yeah. I don't really know why I put Aaron Ramsey in there. I could have put Scotty Arfield in there. I just did for to get some debate. But no, I disagree with you, Albert, as much as it pains me to say it. Well, it's not the first time I've disagreed with you, but I think that Aribo and Kamara will both start. How the setup of the team will be is open for debate.
As Linda says, they're tried and tested in that role in Europe. But the trouble is, when we get to this stage in Europe, they've failed every time. So I'm thinking, if you look at it that way, that he'll try something different for this round, because he might get it in his head and go, I'm going to try something different because we definitely want to get through. So the tried and tested at this level, they're just no go to that step yet to compete. So let's try something different. He might. Be like we done on Saturday or Saturday night. I mean, you put that team out and everybody's scratching their head going, "Where did that one come from?"
I know, but to be fair, it was pretty close to you getting a call as a trialist, wasn't it?
Aye, well, but Annan have a decent team now. Come on.
Aye.
I think Annan could make the quarterfinals of the Champions League. I mean, I've listened to other people talking crap for other clubs, so we may as well join in, mate. Know what I mean?
Aye, that's right. All right, we get these phone lines open.
Yep.
Go for it, mate.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show. It's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Yeah, Fox is asking the question to both of you. Which guy should he make his man cave to keep his relationship alive? There you go. There's a puzzler for you. Right, okay. Right.
Make it a single end.
Right, okay. Look, we've got slightly different teams. We've got a lot of choice at the back, if I'm being honest. Albert, have we? Could you play Simpson and play? Could you play Simpson and play Bassett left back? That's be your only option, isn't it?
I think Balogun is no fit. I think he's fit.
He's injured, mate. Is it?
Is he? I thought he said he was no serious as if what? There you go. I wouldn't play Barisic. No chance. No way. No how. No. Never again. Never again. I've had enough of that guy. I'd play anybody rather than play him.
I think I get your point, but I think you're going to see him tomorrow night, Linda.
Yeah, the only other option, as you say, Ox, is maybe throwing Simpson in.
It's King though. Sorry, Linda. It's King though in the squad, no?
I think he will be. I think he will.
King
be.
then.
It's an option.
King.
Yeah.
Blood the boy.
Yeah. The thing about this boy Simpson, guys, I mean, we obviously must have saw something in terms of when we gave him the contract. I know it didn't cost us anything, but he just seems to be being so far out of the picture, whether you could trust him at all to come in at this level. The other person's obviously Sands, because we know he's played at centre-back before, but we are very limited, Ox. Barisic, I think I would rather he didn't play as well. I'm with Albert on that one, but I think we're just going to have to maybe have no option but to play Borna.
Let's be honest, we couldn't judge anything about the boys' Sands on Saturday night. I don't think you could judge anything, could you, by the cameraman?
No. Simpson, the reason I think one of the reasons we brought Simpson, I think he brought his own socks.
You're awful, Albert.
Yes. Simpson, when you look at him, right, he's about 6'3", Albert, about your height, yeah? Athletic.
Aye. Stone in 2 chairs.
Aye, athletic. Yeah, like yourself.
Well, I'm definitely athletic.
Aye. And you look at him, you say he's quick, he's got a presence, he's physique, and then you watch him and then you think, right, okay, he's still quick. Doesn't sniff danger for a centre-back. He's no great in the air for a centre-back. And he's not the greatest tackler. So you wonder whether...
After that, he's all right.
Aye. But we signed him, and you think, okay, we've signed him. We think maybe he gets experience, London, he could grow in it. He's only been ways a year. Some people have too longer for their careers to kick on, but at the moment he looks way down the pecking order, doesn't he?
Yeah. In terms of the alternative to Hallander or Balogun, probably Bassey's the one that's played in there the most this season, Ox, isn't he? So he kind of is kind of the next kind of a natural choice in terms of what's available. So I do think it will be Tav, Golds and Bassey and Barisic. And let's hope Borna just steps up to the mark and shows, that he's a Croatian internationalist. And, forget about what's going on in the last few weeks and go out and just prove everybody wrong.
Yeah. Well, if he is playing, I hope he can do that. I think he could do that. Highly unlikely, but you never know. Stranger things have happened, Albert.
I've played Simpson at left back before and played Barisic. I'd play Broxy Bear at left back before I play Varisic. I've had enough of the guy. The guy's done with me. What he done at Parkhead's enough for me, mate. Never again. Never again. And I'm not blaming him for that total result himself. There's more to it than that. But he did the show. The way he acted, by the way, that was a night. Rangers players don't act that way.
To be fair, Broxy Bear might be more difficult to get round, you know.
Maybe difficult to strip to fit him.
No, I just think I don't think he was playing great up to that game, and I think he's a guy that looks totally void of confidence. I think that was the nail in the confidence thing. Whether it's personal, whether there's something behind it, whether it's just as simple as his confidence is short, Linda, I don't know, but that's what it looks like to me with Bournemouth.
And the whole time that he's been here, Ox, at Rangers, he seems to go through these wee periods of time where he's just doesn't play well and he lacks confidence. And I don't know what is behind it. You would think that he's been at the club now, he seems to like being here. Why is he not just kicking on and showing us that he is an internationalist? But as I said, since he's walked through that door, he seems to have these periods where he just doesn't play well at all, and we all think, come on, Borna, show us what you can do. And I think sometimes it's the lack of bravery, it's the inability to stop cross balls. You saw McGregor, he was going off his head with him when he come on, was it in the Hibs game?
The Hibs game, he let two crosses come in, he's no crossing it down. He's got into this habit of, when somebody runs at him for a halfway line, he backs off, and next thing they're standing in the 6-yard box.
Yeah, it's basic stuff. Don't let the ball come into the box, and as you've said, they're backing off, and the guy's in the box, and then the next minute he's getting a shot away. But that stood out for me that night, and I know he was thrown on because of the injury situation, but that was probably the second half, wasn't it, when we let kind of Hibs back into it a wee bit. So it does fill you with a wee bit of fear for tomorrow night, and you can't help thinking like that.
The fear. But we'll see. It'd be good to hear other people's thoughts about their team would be. How important is tomorrow night to you, Linda? European game, big game?
I think like everybody else, it's, we know what the priority is, Ox, and we want the league, and I've got to say to you, we also want that Scottish Cup as well, don't we? Our record in cups has been awful the last few years, since we've so-called become a better team. For the revenue for the club, we always talk about that. I think the game's worth maybe £1 million if you get through to the last 16. I'm sure I read that somewhere today. So, and you obviously want to go as far as you can. However, actually, I think Sunday's game's more important.
I don't think you'll be alone in that thinking, but I don't know if the directors will think the same, because of what Europe can do for you. But it's a free hit, and if we can get through, it's fantastic for the club with prestige and revenue. But my priority, as you rightly say, is the league all better, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely, mate. There's no doubt about that. We've got to get that league. For various reasons we've been talking about all week. But the priority is the league, then the Scottish Cup, and then Europe if we can get it. As you say, the directors might say it's Europe, the league, then the Scottish Cup. They're thinking purely for finance point of view. But for supporters, us, nah, it's the league first all day long, mate. The league first. You didn't a bridge there.
Totally agree, Albert.
He's away, isn't he?
I was.
You're away for a lie down there, weren't you?
I won't lie. You did that, Albert. 20 minutes, done that.
Did you enjoy your nap, Ox?
Aye, just a Mrs. Albert. 20 minutes is your night. Right, so, aye, I get it. I mean, I think the league is a priority, but when the game starts tomorrow night, we'll want to win the game, Linda. Nothing changes, does it?
Okay, and you wonder just, what sort of chance we're going to have, Ox. They're obviously a very good team, and they've had some mixed results, I think, over the last sort of 5 or 6 games. I don't know how far up the priority list this competition is for them. Are they going to? Obviously, we know that there's a problem with this guy Haaland, but whether or not he'll play, it remains to be seen. But certainly to be able to play in that stadium, on that stage, albeit the stadium's not going to be full, it'll be a great experience for the players. As you say, it is a bit of a free hit, and let's hope that they stand up to it, and even if they brought us some sort of positive result back for next week, Ox, it means you've got a full house at Ibrox, and that's more revenue for the club as well, isn't it?
Stay in the tie. Make next week exciting.
Put it this way, Ox, if they play the way they can play, we'll get our hands full. We know that. But on the other side of the coin, if they don't play the way they can play, they could have their hands full with us, because we could hit a bit of form here, by the way, and put pressure right on them. So it's all down to Dortmund. If they play properly the way they can play, we've really got a problem with our hands. We really have, because they're a decent team, but it's not a given, by the way, that they're going to do that, because they've been blowing hot and cold for all accounts all season. And if they don't play well, they'll find out that they've got a game in their hands. They will have a problem.
Aye. Well, when the game starts tomorrow, usually I would say most games would be playoff season, Linda. If we play, we win. If we play well tomorrow night, there's still no guarantee, because we're moving up a level that we don't play every week.
Yeah, definitely. They're quite an attacking team, so we are going to have our hands full, Ox, and there's absolutely no way that we can have any kamikaze defending or these blatant errors. We need to make sure that we keep things tight. They'll all need to be on the top of their game if we're going to get any sort of result at all. It is another step up. But as Albert says, if we can keep ourselves in the game, we've got players that can hurt them. I think they're quite an attacking team, so there could be space for us to maybe exploit kind of on the break. But we'll need to be very, very careful at the back. But I'm not saying we sit in the Ox, because you don't want to be camped in your own 18-yard box.
No.
I mean, we couldn't take another night like that.
We've not got the Kevin Thompsons, the big Carlos Puellers, the Davy Weirs. We haven't got that type of player now to do that game. We're going to go get the ball, pass it, and try and move up the park. Our best form of defence is keeping the ball far away from the goal as possible, all better.
That's it, mate. That's that. It's always been that way since Gerrard came in now, Van Bronckhorst, because he's inherited the players. But we seem to, in the last few games, decided we're a defensive team. We're never a defensive team in our life. We never will be with this group of players. They've just no go to it. To be that, I'm not saying I want them to be that, but there's no go to be that. So you may as well go for your strengths. And our strength is keeping the ball, as you're saying, passing it about and moving up that park at pace if we can. And we've got pace now within the squad, so we can actually attack teams with pace.
Aye. Wonder, is there a bit of pride that what we've done in the last 4 years? I know we've not competed for the trophies, but the fact that we've qualified, we've been in the group stages, we've got out the group stages 3 out of 4 times,
I don't think it's talked about enough. I mean, we talk about it, and we're not looking for praise from the Scottish media or the rest of Scottish football, but what was the coefficient? We were 206 season 18-19, Ox, weren't we? Something like that, 200 odds. And we're now up to, was it just early 40s now?
Yeah, it's remarkable, eh?
Aye, absolutely remarkable. To get into the group stages 4 seasons in a row, all those brilliant games that we had, we're quite unlucky at times in terms of maybe we met our level in terms of like Leverkusen. We probably think last year was the Slavia Prague. I think we missed a trick there. I think we would have beaten them in normal circumstances. So I think we've done brilliant in Europe, and there is a bit of pride, and it's actually the majority of these players that have taken us through all these years.
Aye.
So surely that'll stand them in good stead as well.
Yeah. Your big mate in the morning, Conor Golson, he's 96 Europe. No, sorry, Al McGregor plays his 96th European tie, and Conor Golson's not that far behind him.
That's amazing.
We got a club record for European ties, the Barry Ferguson.
It was, I think Alan's took over him, mate. I think he has. Obviously it's a bit false, that statistic, because there was no group stages back in the day, and If you think about it, Gerrard's first season, we played 8 games before we began in the group stages, so people had played 14 games in Europe. God say, it used to take you 5 years to do that, you know.
Mm-hmm. It was also, see the fact that we've done it for 4 years in the Pro, it's also predicted, by the way, before we'd done that Scotland's coefficient was that low. It would probably take 20 years to get us back up to where we are at the moment. Rangers done it in 4. Let's not make any mistake about it. Single-handedly, you pointed out the other night there, Rangers done it in 4. That itself is an achievement, mate.
Mm-hmm. Aye. The trophy's nothing involved in it, but it's true, Linda.
Yeah, and as I said, it's an achievement that's probably not recognised enough. And the revenue that we've brought in for the club, the millions and millions of pounds. I think our chairman, our CEO, was talking about that in the interview the other night. The fact that the runs that we've had in Europe have put us back on that map. And I know under a previous manager, other clubs or other fans will talk about it was only 1 in 9. But the European runs, there wasn't a trophy at the end of it, but they were probably equally as important in terms of our prestige and the revenue, I think.
Yep, let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Oh, Davey's late tonight, Linda.
I'm still waiting in my Valentine's card.
I don't think you've any chance of getting chocolates off of Davey.
Oh, that's right.
You spent the card money in Maltesers. You're not getting any card this year.
No chance. He tried to post the chocolates about 4 times, Linda. Never managed it. Oh dear, brilliant. He's a top man out there, yeah. Albert.
Yeah. Top man, right enough. Top man. Top Malteser eater as well.
He's a champion, isn't he? Let that man can't do with Maltesers, nobody's business.
He's gifted.
You should seal with a straw in a Malteser. Now that's a trick he's not mastered. You know. Right, okay. Albert, what's your thoughts on, prestige, sponsors next round? But I'd love to get in next round. But if you said to me, get knocked out tomorrow night, even get a heavy defeat and go and win the league, we'd forget about this game, wouldn't we?
Oh, of course. I mean, there's no doubt about that, mate. Pity life doesn't work that way. It's a pity. No, but it's a pity it doesn't work that way. You could actually pick and choose this and say, right, if we'd done that and if we take the heavy defeat or we actually go out and we win the league, that's guaranteed to win the league, it'd be great. So, but we don't. It doesn't work that way. So we just work on the theory that we want to win every game, no matter what we play. We want to win every game. Look, the attitude against Annan, for example. I mean, for Annan to Dortmund. Same attitude, mate. Go out there and want to win the game. They showed us that on Saturday, atrocious weather and a terrible, crappy park, that they wanted to win the game. And that's what I look for Rangers in every game. Just put the attitude in, put the work in. The rest will take care of itself, because you're better football players than most of the people, well, all the people in Scotland. So it works in Europe as well, mate. Put the work in. Let's go, have a go at it. Anything can happen. Anything can happen.
None of us had Stephen Davis in my team.
No.
Well, yeah, there's the thing. I mean, it's good now, innit? It is genuinely getting hard to pick a team now, innit? It's not because that you've no got the players, it's you've got the players now. It's genuinely hard to fit them all into the team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. Thoughts, Linda?
Yeah, I think Albert's right. That midfield area is very, very, very difficult, and it's competitive. It's what you would want it to be. As we said earlier, it's just the back positions were short just now. I didn't start Ramsey, but I actually, there's part of me that would love to see him start Ox. Him walk out there. He's played there before. He's got that stature. It's those sort of games that we've brought him to the club for. So he might just go with him and start him and see how he lasts. It would be a real bonus if he was fit enough to start, I think.
I think Linder it's a win-win situation if he starts him.
Yeah.
If he starts him, he doesn't play well, but he'll get fit for the league. So it's a league. It's a league I'm wanting for. To be honest with you. So you may as well play him in this game and say if he plays well, great, it's a bonus. But mostly it's to get fit. We've no, I'm not a wrong record. We've no time to get these players fit. So every game's precious to us to get these guys time. So these 12 league games, we go and win them. It's the 12 league games that matter most to me. They must win the 12 league games.
Yeah. I've been sent a message. I think we've been joined with Timmy. Oh, sorry, I read that wrong. It's Tommy. How we doing, Tommy?
How are you doing, bro? I spoke to you yesterday. How he's doing, guys?
I remember he's not that bad. We can remember him for yesterday, Tommy. How are you doing?
Or probably the other times. Yeah. So anyway, I'm just listening. Let me carry on because I don't know quite the drift of what you are doing. So
we're talking about our team for tomorrow night, Tommy. What we would play and how we would play it. Yeah.
Okay. I heard Dave. Was it Dave? Saying it's proper. It's a really difficult team that we're going to have to pick here, or that Gio is going to have to pick here, because it's we don't know whether to retain like our shape or to go defensive or what, because Dortmund are a proper quality side. So for me, I'd play Jack, because Ryan Jack's available. He's got to be on the park.
And goal? You put him in goal?
No. Is that where we're starting from?
Just normal team start. That way, you start where you want. You start with who you want.
Well, you just started me with the goalie. So the goalie's got to be McGregor.
Right.
I wouldn't put the gloves on Ryan Jack just yet, unless Griggsy gets sent off or something. But I don't know what his goalkeeping capabilities are. But anyway, no, I mean, like we need a solid midfield essentially. So Ryan Jack and Steve Davis have to be in there at some point or other.
Your right back, your centre half, so your left back.
Yeah, well, you're talking left back. It's a difficult one, because I want to play three at the back. So it would have to be Goldson centre, obviously, and I would personally, as much as I love Barra, like I think that he's gone off the boil a little bit. So we'd have to play our other boy there on the right hand side.
Bassey,
aye, that's aye. So on the right hand side, we'd have to play. It's got to be Tav, but I don't know if we can get away with like a three. But to cover the three, and you need a midfield that's going to cover those three. So you need players like Steve Davis and Arfield and Jack and Ryan, with obviously just for an outlet, just as to be a solid base in order for Kent or maybe Wright, or because I like Wright a lot. I think he's got a lot to offer us.
Wow.
Marinos.
Big call.
Eh?
Big call, Scott Wright. Don't see it myself, but you never know, mate.
Well, no, it is a big call. Like I'm not saying, but genuinely, I've seen enough in him well, I have. Lots of other people haven't, but I genuinely think he's a grafter. He's the type of man that we need. Either him or Sakala, because he can switch between sides. So, yeah, I think we've got every chance in the world, but it just depends on team selection, and nobody's ever going to be happy with the team selection that Gio makes, because there's so many players that can be put in there that people are going to say, well, you should have put in so-and-so, or you should have put in another person, or you should have played a flat back four, or you should have done this. He's on a sticky wicket in regards to that. But the reality is, he's the man in charge, and he's the man with the experience. So that's
cheers, correct. Tommy boy. Cheers, mate. Some radical calls in there, Linda.
Yeah, and the 3-5-2 is an interesting thought. And obviously, I think Tommy's saying it would be maybe Tav, Golson and Bassey would be the three at the back. And who would your five across the sort of middle of the park be, Ox? And maybe Kent Morelos up front. But it's quite a change for us though, isn't it? Because we are used to having the four at the back. But it is quite an interesting thought.
I can't see it myself, but obviously Tommy's entitled to his opinion. Talking about somebody who's always got an opinion. We've been joined by Billy. How we doing, Billy?
All right, Pox, how you doing? All right, Linda? All better? How you doing, mate? All right. I was just doing a wee bit raking about there on about the game tomorrow night, and I was just looking at the Dortmund's defence and what they've lost.
It's not a night. It's not a night for raking. Billy already leaves the blow away on their own.
I know it. It's something there out there, mate. Right enough, but no, Dortmund. They've in their last 7 games, right? They've scored 19 goals, right, and they've conceded 15. They've won 4 and they've lost 3, right? Now, I think we can get at them tomorrow night, by the way. I really do. I think we can get at them. Just for that alone, they're sitting second in the Bundesliga, right? We all know how good they are going forward, right? But they've got this is crazy. They've got the 7th worst league. The 7th worst defensive record in the full of the German Bundesliga.
Right. Okay. I wasn't aware of that. That's an interesting start, Linda.
Yeah, it's what it. I'm sorry, Linda. Sorry, guys. Sorry, I interrupted. On you go, Linda. Sorry.
No, you carry on, Tommy.
Just to let you know, Tommy, your name's no Linda. What you do at the weekend's up to yourself.
Yeah, I know. I should be. I know. I'm sorry. I apologise. Sometimes come forward.
You go, Tommy.
On you go, Tommy boy.
Sometimes come forward when I should go back. Anyway.
You're not playing tomorrow night,
well, that's exactly the point I was just about to make, bro. That's why I want to play 3. If it was me, I would want to play 3 at the back. Because whilst they're properly dangerous coming forward, I'm not sure in midfield or in defence whether or not they can properly handle us. Provided we play really well and everybody comes out like we did against Hearts, I'm not sure that if they could deal with that. And I've watched them a few times, and they're a brilliant team. There's no doubts about it. But if you're on the front foot, everybody starts to back off and starts to reposition themselves. And our back 3 will be safe in regards to the likes, as I just said, Davis and Ryan Jack in our midfield with the outlet.
Do you think that'll happen, Tommy? Do you think that's it?
No. Well, I'm hoping it'll happen.
Do you think
it depends on how we come out.
It's a yes or a no question. Do you think it'll happen?
Yes. Always. Yes.
Okay. All right. Linda, in you come.
Yeah, it was just, Billy was talking about their defensive record, Docs, and there was quite a lot of chat. Aye, it is quite surprising. In terms of they're sitting second, and they've obviously got one of the worst records. I think we are going to get chances to exploit them in terms of using our pace and creating. But as I said earlier, we'll probably need to pick our moments for that. But we don't want to sit in too deep. So we might need to be a wee bit patient, Ox, and maybe just when we get a hold of the ball, make good use of it. But I certainly think we can score. And as I say, those stats that Billy's just told us there is giving me even more optimism, I think, that we could get a goal tomorrow night.
If you're talking about worst records, don't go to a party in Foxy's house. Right.
To get a few vinyls.
A few shockers. Right. Billy, that's a real interesting stat you're talking about, mate. Yeah?
Aye, it is, mate. As I said, I just had a wee rake on that Fort Mob app, the one that I was on before. Like, you know, it's a cracking football app. You get everything on it. Brilliant stats. It tells you everything about all the different club teams. Anyway,
tomorrow night, so we could pile on.
Aye, 2-1 to Rangers.
Brilliant.
No, I'll tell you the team I would go with. I know Albert doesn't like. Well, he maybe not like my left back, but I would go McGregor, Tavernier, Golson, Bassey, Barisic, right? And I would play Jack just sitting in front, just to break things up. And I would go Davis, Ramsey, Camara, Morelos, and Kent. That would be my team.
Superb team.
What was that again? So you've got the back foot. Run through it quickly, Billy.
McGregor, Tav, Golson, Bassey, Barisic, Jack, Davis, Ramsey, Camara, Morelos, and Kent.
Yeah, Rebo.
No.
That's a superb team. Oh, wow.
Okay, interesting. Mr. Fox has come in with a 4-5-1. You listening for this? Yeah, McGregor, Tav, Golson, Warner, Alfield, Jack, Lundstrom, Kamara, Aribo, Alfie. It's a 4-5-1. Interesting. I'll bet everybody sees it so differently, isn't it?
Aye, okay. Interesting teams. You know. Tommy's team is interesting. I want to know what's the changes that Van Bronckhorst will make at half time, because if we played that team, Tommy, we got slaughtered, mate. Absolutely slaughtered.
Well, well, that's the whole point. Is that we can see where we stand round about half time or just before half time, and then we can bring on people like Rebo or whoever requires to be brought on. Like we need to take it gently with these dudes, because they're a quality side. So we need to see where they're going to be probing and seeing what's happening, and then we pull out what we've got to do. But yeah, your team is superb, by the way. I would probably go with that equally. But
well, it's interesting. You can't win the tie in the first quarter there, Linda, but you can lose it.
Well, no, but you can definitely ensure.
Tommy, I'll say it again. Your name's Tommy. Yeah, no Linda. Yeah. All right.
I make your middle name Tommy Linda.
Guys, go on then.
On you go, Linda.
Taking the proverbial. Carry on.
Try not to laugh. Yeah, absolutely, Ox. We want to still be in the tie. It doesn't necessarily mean even if we did suffer a loss tomorrow night, we might, as long as we're still in the tie, that's the most important thing. Because if we get back to Ibrox with a full house, we know anything can happen there. We need to make sure we're still in it. But it is really interesting. Billy's team, I quite like that. I wouldn't say no to that. I think that's a good team, Billy.
Thanks very much. I'll tell you the reasons. Linda. I played Bassey and Barisic in there.
Is that my cue?
I played Jack in there just to protect Golson and Bassey, just to break things up there. And also, I've got the experience of Stephen Davis and Aaron Ramsey in there as well in the midfield, with the legs for camera to open things up. And also, that didn't sound right there, did it? The legs of camera to open things up.
There's a lady present.
And obviously, Alfredo for obvious reasons, and Ryan Kent with his pace.
There's a lot of logic in your team. There's a logic in his team, Albert, but Albert fell off his seat when he had Barisic in it, didn't you, Albert?
Oh, aye. Definitely, aye. It's an interesting team. I mean, all the teams that get suggested tonight, they all could equally do well and equally do bad. It's just down to Dortmund. No, I mean, their midfield is superb, by the way. That boy Royce, that's what he is, a Rolls Royce. He's a superb player. If they hit form, they can. We've got a game. We've really got a game. And as you say, that if we can stay in the tie and bring it back to Ibrox, it'd be more interesting because everybody's bought tickets for the game at Ibrox. I think it's only fair that they get a chance to roar us onto some sort of chance. You know what I mean? It's you don't want it back at Ibrox when it's 3 or 4 nothing down. You know what I mean? That's not going to be good at all. And I think we'll be doing well if they hit form to keep it down to maybe 1 or 2. If we can do that, even steal a draw or a victory, would be great. But really, honestly, we need to keep ourselves in the tie. That's the most important thing.
All right, before we go to the tune, I've been joined with Bob Jerry. And Bob Jerry.
Hi, Ox. How you doing?
Good, mate. Yourself?
Aye, we're talking about the quality of Borussia Dortmund the other way.
Yeah, just
well, I mean, I know it's changed days, but we've got a very, very good record against them. We've eliminated them for Europe twice, you know. And the last time we played them in Europe, we got eliminated on penalty kicks when under Advocaat's time. So we'll give them it pretty tough, and here's home that we can give them it tough tomorrow again. And keep it tight, keep it organised, see what we can do our best.
1-3, drawn 4, and lost 1 against them.
Right. I can remember way back in the early days, they provided the nucleus of the German international team. They got beat for England in the World Cup final in 1966. I know it's a long time ago, but they've always been a big, capable club, eh? And I mean, Davy Cooper destroying them at Ibrox, and Derek Johnson scoring with a header.
Great header.
At that time, so we've got a very good record against this club. So if we can maintain it tomorrow, we'll all be happy.
All right, aye. What would your team be, Bob J, before we get a tune in?
Oh, well, we're just going on the usual lines. I understand Hollander's not there, eh?
No.
So we'll just have to go with it. Well, we'll just have to go with the tried and trusted. It'll need to be McGregor, Tav, Golson, Bassey, Barisic. Maybe Aribo in the middle of the park. Jack, maybe fit. And I'd put Scotty Arfield in there. And the usual front three would be Kenty, Alfie, and I don't know if the young boy will get the nod or no. Maybe give the young boy the nod. Aye.
Well, you've thrown caution to win compared to Masty's, I wonder.
Yeah, it's another good team. Bob J, quite a lot of attacking sort of, quality in there.
That's how you win football matches, Linda.
That's it. And hopefully, if you did go for that, they need to remember their defensive duties as well, Bob Jerry. And
either that, can take it. Either that, and go 4 in the middle of the park and put Ramsey in there.
Aye, yeah.
With all his experience, he's bound to be a bit ready now, surely. So, a tough task tomorrow, people. A very tough task.
A glamour tie, Bob J. A glamour tie.
A glamour tie, right. Equivalent to a Champions League tie, yeah.
Yeah, talking about glamour. We're going to have a tune, Linda.
Go for it.
Take it away and get yourself a mute. Let's have a tune, Foxy boy.
fought those evil men, and I'd do it all again. They say this day the time will stand. So build my gallows, build them high, that I might see before I die the Antrim land and the hills of County Down, and I'll see again the lights of home. I am a loyal Ulsterman. They say this day that I must stand. Well, I fought that evil band, and I freed my native land. They say this day that I must stand. So build my gallows, build them high, that I might see before I die the Antrim glen, the hills of County Down, and I'll see again the lights of home. The Antrim glen, the hills of County Down, and I'll see again the lights of home.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
All right, we're all back. Interesting time. I didn't want to raise this earlier on the week. I thought it was a bit raw for everybody with all the things that's happened with the club. But really, Brandon Barker leaving us, and I just can't bring my name to see that the boys left us and went to Partick Thistle, because it's the end of an era, I wonder.
Oh, the best gig in the world, didn't he? Andy, good old Andy Firth. I
just didn't know how to take it.
Were you devastated?
Oh, end of an era. You think particularly Andy Firth, I think he must be due a testimonial all better.
Absolutely, man. I bet they come into the restroom and I'd like to see him picture his face. No, I'm going to tell him you're going on loan. What? I'm going where? You mean to actually play? Oh no, can't have this. Get the union involved in this.
It's too wet out there.
Can I not play in the summer, man? At least give me the summer.
At least wait till the storms are past.
I'd love to see his face.
This one with Brandon Barker, I think he might be playing with Reading, and he always affected his hair running down the wing, you know. But a sad day for the club, Brandon and Andy. There's end of an era. Look, I don't know if Andy's gone forever, but he's been loan. Brandon's away. We wish them all the best. And Brandon took part in the 9-0 season, and Andy claimed the glory. 9-0 for the 55th title, and Andy took the glory for the 55th title. He'll never be forgotten, and there will be a quiz question, won't he? When the photographs do it. Who's that?
I heard Robertson come down the marble stair, and when he wasn't aware, they say he's on loan to Partick Thistle. He says, I thought he was the Johnny here.
I think it was something to do with his haircut. The last Rangers player to have a side shed like that was David Dodds.
He's some man.
There's a blast for the pass, isn't it, David Dodds?
Aye, but listen, whether we like it or not, he played part in that championship winning team last season. Brandon Barker, Andy. Andy Fuff on the brain. Bob Ger. Brandon Barker scored the goal for us. They played at Parkhead, we won 2-0.
He did, aye. I mean, at the end of the day, he was part of the squad. Gerrard signed him, and seemingly he was on a fair bit of wage a week. I don't know exactly what, a lot of speculation with what Rangers were paying him, but yeah, he was part of the squad. I seen him tearing Taverner to bits at Easter Road one day when he played with the Hibs. So he must have had something.
I just didn't kick on, you know. He's away to Reading. Good move.
Aye.
Good move from there. They're in big trouble, Reading. But
Jaria still there, is it?
What's that?
Mind you, Jaria, he went to Reading. I know he was playing with them today.
He's still there, mate. As far as I know, aye. But they're in trouble. I think they've lost something like 8 in a row or something.
Oh, aye. They've had it bad, like. Aye.
You know.
I think they're a good start, but then they're sort of fallen steadily down that league. Anyway.
Aye, and obviously it's a great move for Andy, because I know they need to move Hoos, Linda, if he's playing with a Thistle Wall.
No, it's just up the road. He'll probably take his championship winning medal with him and all, so he can't take that away from me, Locks.
No. You obviously want the Thistle team photo redone so you can get his place in the middle of it, you know.
He's probably phoned Thistle and went, "Do I need to bring these gloves? I need gloves. I'm not actually going to be playing."
Best gig in football. But we all liked him. Funny how it thought suit Billy, innit?
That's it, mate. Listen, I think it's just another one of these players that our jersey was just too heavy for him. That's the bottom line, miss. I mean, there's a lot of players came and went with a bigger name than Brandon Barker and never made the grade at Rangers, you know what I mean? So I think that's just what it was. Bears, the jersey was just too heavy for his shoulders.
Aye, I'm just looking to see if Brandon's playing for Reading tonight. Let me see.
Does Derry Donkey play for them?
No, he's at Brighton, isn't he?
Oh,
he's having a good season by all accounts. There you go. Stranger things have happened. No, I don't think they've seen Brandon in training and he's not made his bench or the first team. First 11. Anyway, best of luck to the both boys in their careers going forward. But I was absolutely shocked when I heard about Andy Fuff. End of an era. But we move on, Bob. Do you have a big game against Borussia Dortmund tomorrow night?
Absolutely. We move on. I see the big boys though playing that at Haaland.
Yes.
And, you know, but they've got a very, very capable squad. But so have we. We've done well in Europe in recent years and get big clubs tough games, as we recited the other night. Porto, etc. Benfica. Mm-hmm. So why don't we Borussia Dortmund a hard game? I'm sure we will.
Aye.
I'm not deluding myself. A crack Bundesliga side, but we'll give them a game.
This group of players, Billy, at times, obviously, we've had some great results, and when we've come up against a wee bit of class, we've not maybe been as attack-minded as we should have been at times. You know, Leverkusen, before they moved some of the players on, had an excellent side. They gave a team that was a bit inexperienced. He was a bit less than Ibrox. And we all appreciated that we'd reached our level, but I think this group of players are more experienced now, so we're just looking for them to maybe compete a wee bit there and see what it takes, is it?
Aye, you're bang on with that comment, mate. You're bang on. They're maybe sitting above Leverkusen in the Bundesliga, but they're not a Bayern Leverkusen. I mean, Bayern Leverkusen pumped them in Dortmund 5-2. Like I think it was 2 games ago. I think they beat them. So they beat them 5-2. Like, you know. So, but our players, as you rightly said there, Ox, we've definitely got more experience in our team now. Mm-hmm. And they should, and that's what the last 32, the last 3 seasons in a row, twice in the last 16, I think it was. Would this be the last 3 years in the last 16? correct me if I'm wrong here, guys. But we've certainly got a lot more experience at that level now. So, as I said when I come on the show tonight, I really think we can get at this team tomorrow night. We are players that can hurt teams, and because don't get me wrong, they're not got to be they're no well, they're not got to be no great shake type thing when they're going forward, because for the midfield to their attacking side of their team, they're different class, like, you know, but they're always going to give you a chance, and their last 7 games proves that with their defensive record. And I think we could maybe just sneak something tomorrow night, and I'm sure our manager will have a couple of wee things up his sleeve. I'm positive he will. Very confident, guys.
I like that attitude, Billy. I like that attitude, but Albert, how do you see it? Do you think it'll be a cagey game, or do you think it'll be an open game? Go to you first and then Linda.
I think it'll be an open game, mate. I don't think if there's any caginess that's going to come for us, it'll not come for them, because I don't think they can play any other way than going forward. So I don't think, and I think it's going to end up an end-to-end game. I hope it ends up an end-to-end game with us winning it. I mean, that's what we pay our money for. We want to see a good game, and we're capable. I'm building them up about Dortmund, but they're not unbeatable. Don't think for a minute I don't think we can beat them. We can beat them all right. If we hit form and hit our top form, we'll give any team a good game, any team. But here we go, and I think they want to score off me. I think it could be a 3-2 job. Anyway, you know what I mean?
I think I might take that, the fact that you're still in the tie, but the disappointing thing, if you did get that result, Linda, is that away goals don't count anymore.
Yeah, that's right, Ox. That would be a wee bit ironic for us, wouldn't it? I agree with Albert. I think it'll be an open game. You would expect them to come out the traps and really attack us. As Billy said, they are an attacking team, but they are a wee bit suspect in terms of goals conceded. So we will really need to be on our game. I hope we don't get like rabbits caught in the headlights or anything like that again. You know, I don't think we will. I think we've learned over the last few games from that experience a couple of weeks ago. But there might be a few goals in it. But we will all need to be. They will need to be at the top of their game, Ox, every single one of them. The only thing that does concern me is the back four, in terms of we've not got our strongest players in there. But let's hope that whoever he picks, they can stand up to the task.
Aye. I've been hampered a lot this season by injuries, Bob Cherry.
Oh, we played a full season without Ryan Jack, without Big Philip Malander. That's been a big loss to us, as was proved at Parkhead. We went in there without a centre half and without our best midfielder, and look what happened. But they're fighting their way back to full fitness, and apparently I think Jack will be playing tomorrow night, which is a big plus for us. So, as Linda says, everybody will need to be on their game, need to be up for it. They're 100% focused on this. Either that, there is a chance, and let's be honest, there is a chance you might get to do it. But the big boys are lost to them and all. He's a big plus for them. He's the most sought after striker in the world, isn't he? And he's not playing. So, yeah, there's a chance for the Gerrard tomorrow night. But like Linda says, we'll need to be right on it. The other way.
Yep, you need to get into all games with the right attitude, Billy.
Absolutely, mate. You know what I mean? I was just taking another wee look at the stats here of the Germans. The last 20 games, be it domestically or in Europe, they've played the last 20 and they've conceded. They've had six clean sheets out of 20. So that tells you one thing. That
they're vulnerable.
Yes, absolutely. They're very vulnerable. You know what I mean? Because they'd be keeping clean sheets constantly, and they wouldn't have the seventh worst record defensive record in the full Bundesliga. Do you know what I mean? So we can get at them, guys. Make no mistake about it.
Who are they up against tomorrow night, I wonder?
Well, I would say they're up against one of the best informed strikers in Europe just now, Ox. I don't know if you would agree with that in terms of Alfie.
Well, his goals per game, the last dozen league games, it must be pretty up there, you know.
Yeah.
You know, he's on a good run since Giovanni Van Bronckhorst's come in, and I don't think there's any surprise to us that maybe there was a few points dropped when Alfredo Morelos was in the team. Albert?
Aye, he's definitely in form, there's no doubt about that. And they centre-backs tomorrow will know they've been in the game. There's no doubt about that. So we Alfie, I'll be disappointed tomorrow if we don't score. I'll be really disappointed if we don't score. And I think we Alfie's the man for it. I hope the rest of them chip in, put it that way as well. We can't leave it up just to one man. If the rest of them are dangerous, we Alfie will score. We Alfie will nick in and score. But if the rest of them are passive, well, he's got to do it all himself. Don't get me wrong, the wee man's capable. We've seen him doing it before, ragdolling a whole defence. And he likes Europe. He likes this UEFA Cup, or Europa Cup. He likes to play in that. He really does. Are you on mute again?
He seems to come to the fore in Europe. No, I wasn't. Seems to come to the fore in European competitions. Alfie, I think it's I think he likes the battle and he likes the space, like all your team, yeah. But actually, Bob Jim, we're in a game of football where you're not playing against 10 men behind the ball.
No, absolutely not. I mean, we've got people that can get the ball down and pass it very capably. Example, Ryan Jack, Joe Aribo. Kenty can go at them. Ryan Kent can beat anybody on his day. Take anybody on and beat them on his day. And Alfie can, as you keep saying, ragdoll them. He's a strong boy, very experienced international player. So what's not to like? As you say, just concentrate and be on it, realise them and totally realise the magnitude of the tie we're in, and we can do okay here tomorrow. Do all right. I mean, we bottled it apart here. That, to me, that's a different story altogether. We all know the history of that. Nobody needs to tell us that. I don't think that'll happen. I think Rangers will do all right tomorrow night. Rangers played well in Leon, in the last round. They were no mugs at him. They're okay. So we've got no bad track record the last 3 or 4 years in Europe, and there's no reason why we can't carry it on tomorrow night.
I think it's important for us, Linda, to stay in the tie, yeah?
Yeah, definitely, Ox. As I said earlier, I mean, even if it was a defeat, if it was maybe just with the one goal, you've still got a chance. I think we'll get our opportunities and we might just need to pick our moments. They might have more of the ball. And as I say, we will need to maybe be patient. But for me, it really is about how these guys are going to play at the back as well, Ox. And you just don't want any don't gift any goals, no glaring mistakes. Make them really work for their victory. And if we get beaten with a better team, then so be it. But make it difficult for them. And as Albert said, I would also be disappointed if we didn't nick a goal. But Alfie's definitely on for him, and maybe the others round about him will chip in with the goals this time.
We don't care who scores the goals. We're no fussy, Albert, are we?
No, we're not fussy at all, mate. McGregor can score the goals for all I care. No, I mean, the only trouble is he's not fast enough to get up the forward line. But apart from that, anybody can score it. Anybody at all. I'm quite happy. And I think we should start scoring. I mean, I've been on this for a season as well. I think the rest of them should start chipping in with more goals than they're chipping in with. So why not start tomorrow night?
As good a time as any. If the pendulum swings and we get a result, Billy, I'm not saying we'll win the tie, but we're just competing the tie. Does it give us confidence to the springboard? And if we have a bad result, does that affect confidence, or does it no matter for you going forward?
Well, as Albert correctly said, the league's the one for me, mate. The league's the one for me. This is just another wee glamour tie for the Rangers for where we came from. But listen, First and foremost, this game, the more than eight's got to be right up Alfredo's street. I'm telling you that right now. And I think, just looking at these stats and what Dortmund do, they didn't know any other way but to come forward. And we'll fund space in behind them. So I don't think this will be an odd goal. I think this could be a 3-2-2, by the way, or a 4-3, there'll definitely be goals in the game. But regarding if we get knocked out, we get knocked out. You know what I mean? We'll get the league into focus type thing, so we can continue and go and win this league, and hopefully a Scottish Cup at the end of it. But that's part and parcel of football, isn't it? European football. You come up against the glamour ties, the glamour teams. Some of them you win when you least expect that you're going to win it, and other times you're getting in there as favourites and teams run over the top of you. So the more than night, it's only a football game. It's 11 against 11, guys, eh?
Aye, that's true, mate. That's true. And hopefully it stays that way, 11 against 11, eh?
Aye, definitely, mate, because we need to be focused, right? No schoolboy stuff, nothing silly. Everybody as a man, individually, just to do their jobs and let the football do the talking. And when we get the opportunities, because they will come along, guaranteed they'll come along, we've got to take them. We've got to take them. And if we go back to Ibrox, you know what I mean? With a goal behind, or even better, a draw or a fantastic result, go back with a victory. You know what I mean? All the better. As long as we give ourselves a wee chance. But as I said before, I've got a wee sneaky feeling we maybe get something tomorrow night. Just with their defensive record, guys. Telling that right now.
I get it. I'm just going to look up the odds and see what the bookies think. But let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
I love the optimism. I think we're also trying to convert with a wee bit of realism. Because, of course, we want the Rangers to do well, Linda. Yeah?
Yeah, absolutely, Ox. And I think we're looking forward to it, as we said at the beginning of the show. It's just a wee break from the pressures around the league and our Scottish fixtures just now, and it's just nice and refreshing to play a different team. We know they're a good team. It was probably the toughest draw we could have got. There was so-called not easier teams, but teams with lesser sort of reputations than Dortmund. But I think they've got to be confident as well, this group of players. They've achieved a lot in Europe, the majority of them. They've had some fantastic results, and it's a wee break from them as well, from the Scottish games as well, isn't it? It's a fantastic stadium, albeit it's not going to be full over there, but it'll still be a great atmosphere, and it'll be great for them to test themselves against these really good players.
Right, Dortmund are overwhelming favourites in the bookies' eyes. You can get 8-1 the Rangers.
8-1.
8-1. We ain't that very often, are we?
No.
8-1.
I think Israel's they are favourites for the tournament.
Aye, listen, mate. If I'm being honest, mate, we are an 8-1 shot to win that tie tomorrow night. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I don't.
Most people would be.
Aye. They would be favourites to beat most teams at home, all there in a level above us this now. But bigger and stranger things have happened. We'll see where it takes us.
81's have won before, mate. It's a fact of life. I think they're a wee bit underestimating us, by the way. We've not had a good season this season. We've not really played many good games this season. But there's a team there. There's a team ready to burst out in my eyes, because the attitude's been wrong all season, and the application's been wrong all season. We all knew it. We all felt it. to the Hearts game and the Hibs, Annan, I see a different attitude altogether, and I hope we keep that going. And if we keep that going, we could be a handful for them tomorrow. I'm telling you, we could be a handful.
Well, I hope you're right, Albert, because I just want us to put a performance on and see how the game goes. I want us to show we're a better team than people realise, Linda.
Yeah, definitely, Ox. You don't want them to be sort of passive and not have a go. You know, when we pick our moments, you know, we've got to get ourselves up the park. You know, we've all said we've got the players that can do that. We've got pace, and we've got at least one person anyway that can score goals, consistently at this level. So we've got to be positive. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the game.
Talking about people who's always positive, but we jump over Ian. How we doing, Ian?
How you doing, lads, ladies, or lady?
Hi, Ian.
Hiya. I'm looking forward to the game tomorrow night, and I think we know they're a class team, but they've not been on form all season. I mean, their midfield and up front is quite good, but overall their defence recently has been minced. So, I mean, that's a weak point. We should be taking advantage of if we turn up, and I hope we do. And we should just enjoy the two legs, because the Europa Cup's still for everybody, is it? You know what I mean?
Oh, what have you done there? Eh?
No.
Ka-ching.
I would rather play for a Europa Cup than a roll of tinfoil, so, you know, they're competitive, and it's got bigger names, better teams, and the world is just jealous, and good luck to them. But I think I think it'll be a good game, and if we're on form tomorrow night and we can bring a good result back to Ibrox, I think we could take them there. And that all depends on tomorrow night's result. If we bring back a good result for there, I think we could take them at Ibrox. And who knows for there. But at the same time, if we get put out of Europe, in a way, I'm not really bothered, because I'm 100% more interested in winning this league than anything else. I'd even miss out the Scottish Cup. I'd love to win the Scottish Cup, of course, but if I had the choice of any of the three of them, I'd take the league. But I'd take this game tomorrow night and next week as an enjoyment and watch a class game between two brilliant teams. And that's what I think it'll be.
Well said, Ian. Albert?
Aye, no, I agree with that. It could be a right one to tie the tournament tomorrow. It could turn into that if the two of them go at each other and really lay into each other. It could be a spectacle to behold. That's what I'm hoping. I'm telling you, because you got to remember as well. See, we can make this a spectacle and do ourselves proud. I mean, that is also prestige when you're signing players. Your name's back out there as they're competing at a decent level now, especially in Europe. They're not just turning up and going, well, we're going to get rolled over here. We know that. So we're not that type of club, by the way. We don't do things like that. We're realistic. We know what we're up against. We know a good team, and we see a good team, and we're not fear to call a team a good team. But we're not going to roll over. There's no such thing like that. We'll give them a game. We'll definitely give them a game. Oh, I will definitely give them a game, and that's one thing about our club. We don't make excuses after a defeat, really, in Europe. You know what I mean? We don't make excuses. If we were bad, we say we were bad. We don't say it was because of this player or that ref or that lineman or the wee guy up the back put him off because he was eating his pie at the time or whatever. You know, any of the excuses say. Poor kid that wankers, do you know what I mean? So, I mean, they come out with every excuse under the sun. We did turn around and say we were well beaten with a better team. And that's what I love about our club and our fans. We are honest. We are honest to the core. You know.
Well said, mate. You know, but it's all about prestige is a word that's been used a lot there, Linda. It has got us back in with the big boys in a relatively short space of time.
Okay, when you think about where we were, you know, before Steven Gerrard came in, Ox, and we've been put out with Progress Niederkorn, hadn't we? And we thought, were we ever going to get back in the Euro stage? So it's night and day. And as Ian says, we've just got to really enjoy this and embrace it. And if we get put out, we get put out. It'll be by the better team, and we'll just accept it and move on. But it would be lovely if we could just really make a game of it, get us back to Ibrox next week, because the atmosphere at Ibrox will be unbelievable if we're still in this tie. And if we did happen to make it through, it would be one of our best results in Europe, I think.
It'd be up there. It'd be up there.
I quite agree with that, Linda.
On you go, Ian. On you go, mate.
No, I was just saying I quite agree with every word that Linda said there. It's a game, as I said earlier, and she said as well, it's a game to enjoy and endure. And they're a class team, they're a class act. We're going to be playing them twice. And if we turn up, as to get said earlier on, I mean, this could maybe turn out a weird score, like your 4-3, 5-4, or it could just be a 1-0. You know, it could go either way, because they're both on their game. They're both good attacking teams, good players in them. I mean, I would say they were obviously slightly better than us in a certain way because of the standing they've had all the years that we've not been there. But I mean, we're back again. Everybody's got to realise that the Rangers are back. You know, we've came through the depths of despair and just a bit death to that playing in the Europa League against Borussia Dortmund. Do you know what I mean? That shows you how far we have really came. And winning that title last year that nobody ever thought we could do, and that goes for every team in the SPL. Do you know what I mean? I just had my middle finger up to every one of them last year, and well, I was singing all my songs and partying. So good luck to them for where they finish in the league, because it ain't going to be anywhere near what we're capable of doing or going to be doing in the future, because we put up a good game against them, and even when we got through, you imagine the amount of names that's wanting to come and play for us after that as well. I mean, there's some names coming in now. Just to think of the amount of players that you could attract in. You know?
Yeah, I suppose when you think about it, we've arguably got Wales's top 2 or maybe top 1 at the moment, players playing for them because of the Bale situation. We've got Northern Ireland's top player, top cap player in the UK ever, in Northern Ireland, Stephen Davis, and obviously we've let 2 of Europe's top have just left us, and Andy Firth and Brandon Barker. You know, so.
By the way, I heard Brandon Barker went to Red, and I wrote in the comments, did he take his haircut with him? I was just asking for the barber, by the way.
I don't think he'll be worrying about his haircut with the weather everybody's getting.
Good luck to him anyway.
Well, good luck to him, mate. Well, he goes, we have a laugh and a joke, but we wish him nothing but success.
We wish him the best. Right, lads, I'm going to go and let somebody else go over whatever then, right?
Okay, cheers, Ian. Always great
right,
to speak
thanks
to you.
a lot, everybody.
Good night, Ian.
We could have a team out there tomorrow, arguably with Ramsey and Davis in it, top players. You know, you think where we've been and who we've got, and we've got these people competing for a squad. We guys who are up and coming, Aribo and Glenn Kamara, and then you've got our own Ryan Jack who can compete with anybody. You know, I think what we've realised is maybe how good a player Ryan Jack's been for us. Don't say he's up there with Aaron Ramsey. They can go and play with Juventus. He's picked up. He's the boys a top pro for us at our level, and he can help us get to the next level. Ryan, a fit and an accomplished Ryan Jack could do that for us, Linda.
Yeah, definitely, Rox. And what a difference he made in the Hearts game. We really needed a boost in that game, considering what had happened in the previous match. And it was as if he'd never been away. You know, he put in that level of performance, you know, considering how long he'd been out. So it's really good to have him back, and thank goodness this latest injury doesn't seem to be that serious. It was quite a bad one. I mean, he could have been out for a few weeks with that. He makes a big difference. He's got all the heart. He knows what the club's all about. So I'm really looking forward to seeing him play over the coming weeks and these games that we've got left. I never had Ramsey in my team, but I hope he starts tomorrow night now, Ox. I'm really looking forward to seeing him play as well. And who knows, maybe Davis will make the starting line-up too.
Do you think Ramsey looks ready? I know Albian's pointing at 3 minutes in his leg. I thought he tired after about half an hour on Saturday, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, aye. I suppose it's another few days later, isn't it? But it'll be interesting to see what Gio does. Yeah.
Didn't forget about Big Lund. Didn't forget about Lundstrom.
Yeah.
No, he's came to the fore. He's came to the fore, and obviously he's a man in possession, Albert. That's a great shout.
Well, he's a man in possession, you know what I mean? But still, he's the jury. The jury's still out with him. No, I mean, he's got a lot still more to prove. If we can win the league with him in the team playing the way he's playing, I'll change my mind. I'll definitely change my mind on him. But up until that time, the jury's still out of me. But the last 2-3 games, 2 games, he's played really well. I'll give him his due. He has played really well. I want him to play like that all the time, in that position, doing what he's doing. You know what I mean? Because he looks a different player completely when he plays like that, and he's allowed to get tackles in, and he's allowed to go forward and pass forward, because I don't know if he was playing under instructions or he thought that's what he would do in Scottish football. I'm not sure who's to blame for that, the way he's playing, but definitely the news the way he should be playing. That's a different player altogether, and I want him to do that from now to the end of the season.
Didn't forget that Lundstrom played in the best league in the world week in, week out against the best, obviously. And
I don't know. Pays the P&D. That's the best league in the world.
Well, I mean, he played there every week, guys, against the best, and I didn't
get relegated.
I didn't know they got relegated. I'm not going to be never be disrespectful to opposition, especially the calibre of what we're playing tomorrow night. But I'll no phase him. He's played against as good a side as them. So, the big one will probably get a shout tomorrow night. I think he's done well the last few games.
Who would have thought that 3 weeks ago? Who would have thought that? Yeah, how the game goes. It's amazing, really, sometimes. But Billy.
Aye, mate. As I said before, with Lundstrom, I wasn't a great lover of the boy here, but he's starting to catch my eye now with his last couple of performances, and he's certainly holding on to that jersey, albeit at the weekend there type thing, but he was holding on to his jersey, and he was keeping that jersey himself. And I'll tell you, talking about stranger things have happened. The team sitting above Bayern Munich, above Dortmund, i.e. Bayern Munich, who are 6 points clear, are currently 1-0 down with only 8 minutes to go to Salzburg, of all teams.
Well, they're at home.
So, Salzburg are at home, mate, but the same Bayern Munich side, I think they cruised the group.
I'm going to give you a wee bit of Rangers radio advice, Billy.
Damn it.
People might be watching the games later.
I'm no new.
Here's what you could
have Sorry, listeners. No, I thought that was relevant to the 8-1 bet earlier on.
You're right, Billy. That's a point well made, mate. It's a point well made.
Fox is in tears. He was taking that.
He watched Newsnight, mate.
Yeah, why watch EastEnders, wasn't it? He likes that. He'll not admit it, but he's got a wee thing for that, Tiffany. Right, okay. Right. Aye, well, it's a pointer. This week's been a strange week. We talked about the anniversary 10 years ago on Monday. We talked about away fans. we're on to talk about a European tie. Who would have thought 12 years ago would be back playing Dortmund in a top-level European tie? But then tomorrow night, there's only limited fans in the whole stadium. But there's a lot of bears made their way over there. In fact, I think there's thousands made their way over there. Linda?
Yeah, that's right, Oxen. Was it only officially 500 tickets?
500, I think there's a wee bit than 500.
I think there's maybe at least six times that amount. You could have knew that would happen. It's a great place to go, isn't it? The Rangers fans love going to Germany. But yeah, I was listening to the shows, and you were obviously the anniversary and how everybody felt at the time, and you did feel kind of helpless, didn't we? And we all wondered if we would ever get back. It felt like a really kind of long journey. Well, it has only been like the 10 years, but it's absolutely amazing to think where we were. And tomorrow night we're going to be playing in the last 32 of a European competition against opposition like Dortmund. We would never have thought that, Ox. And I think you've got to put things into perspective in terms of where we are, and as we've said, just enjoy the occasion over the tomorrow night and next week.
Aye, that's the thing. You've got to enjoy it, but you've got to use it for a springboard to push us on all better.
That's it, mate. That's it. You've got, if you get a result tomorrow night, you've got to get confidence for that, surely. I mean, don't get me wrong, I think the team's back to where it should be, confidence-wise. And I think we're pushing on now. And I think the best is yet to come for us. But as long as he's picking the right team, Gio's picking the right team, that's the thing, isn't it? For every game, not just this game, for every game, especially the league games. To my mind, there's 7 players get playing right away, and then it's the other 4 come for the rest of the squad, basically. And Ramsey's not even one of the 7, know what I mean? Until he gets 100% fit, that is. Then it'll be 8. 8 will be on the street right away. And that's not even counting with Steve Davis. You know what I mean? It's madness, isn't it, when you think of it? It really is madness. But enjoyable. But I get back to your point. We'll definitely get confidence for this, definitely, man. Providing we turn up.
Aye, okay, it could go the other way as well. You know, great to see the fans getting to travel away in Europe. You know, I don't want to go into the rights and wrongs what we talked about last night, only because I've been warned by Mrs. Allbear about his blood pressure. But Bob Ger, these boys who were in Southside, I think he's up it. He'll be up it. Back at 3 in the morning to catch his flight for the day, go and watch the Bears. It's just that they show some passion to go and watch your club, don't they?
Absolutely fantastic. Wonderful. I didn't take part in the discussion the other night. I wasn't on about when they tried to do away with the jerseys. Feeling with me the word I can sum up with disbelief. That's all it's disbelief. But I never ever thought that the Rangers would go away. I knew we would be back at this level at some point. Rangers, I said the other night, I think you heard me, Ox, Rangers have had to turn a massive corner, and in some respects they're still turning it, yeah. And I hope they can go a step to turning it even further tomorrow night. Back in European football, I just want us to win trophies more regularly, like we used to do, but I believe that'll come. And good luck to them tomorrow night.
Obviously.
The one thing I go out of that carry on for the last 10, 12 years is the only thing I can take out of it. It definitely exposed all our enemies. They all came to the forefront, mate. All the ones that were hiding in the dark in the shadows and behind walls and saying they were your pals, but not really your pals. Know what I mean? They all came out to have a kick at the Rangers. Every one of them, backstabbers, kickers, spitting us, dig all sorts of things to us. So they all go out, they all get exposed now. Now I can see them right in the daylight. Now I can see them, and I'm no forgiving. I'm never forgiving them.
No, I think that's a valid point, mate. A valid point. Funny enough, and if I'm being honest, Linda, when it happened in 2012, you know, when you put your supporters hat on, you think these kind of ties would have happened quicker. But if you ask me, when we were competing against them in the first couple of seasons back in the Premier League, I didn't see any light at the end of the tunnel. Mr. Gerrard coming, if I'm being really honest.
Yeah, I would agree with that, Ox. The first couple of seasons back, it was hard to take, wasn't it? The way that we were playing against them, the results, and I think most of us, it wasn't until Stevie G walked through the door that there was a belief that if we could get somebody like him to come to the club, raise the profile, etc., we thought we're getting there, we're sort of back, or we're near enough back. And that for me was the sort of moment I kind of thought that we'll get our Rangers back. But up to then, as you said, even though we'd got back into the top league, we were miles off it. And I know it took him the 3 seasons, Ox, but maybe we didn't even realise how big a building job he had in terms of getting the quality of players through the door. But I agree with you, that was kind of when I thought we're going to get there, you know.
Happened quicker than I realised, all bit.
Was that, mate?
It happened quicker than I realised. I'll be honest with you. The 2 seasons when Murty and Kachina were in charges, and I just didn't see where we were going, you know. But things have moved on pretty quick in real terms, eh?
It's typical football, mate. But whoever thought of the Gerrard, and I think there's a few taking credit for it, it's a masterstroke. And the fact that he came with the reputation that he's actually got helped tremendously. We couldn't go another Coutinho, another Murty. No, I mean, not even another Warburton. We couldn't go that again. Come on. Some might say Warburton was all right. Some might say he wasn't, or half and half. Coutinho, I think the majority, I think everybody knew that was a disaster waiting to happen. The guy was a buffoon. He was a total buffoon, wasn't he, Bob Jar?
Warburton's at his level, where he is.
I don't know.
Aye,
I agree with that, mate. I agree with that. But Gerrard coming in, even then, it wasn't a foregone conclusion that he was going to pull it. No, was it? I mean, he really had a job today. I don't like him for what he done at the end. I don't mind he went away. It's the line I didn't like. But apart from that, he did do a job for us. I mean, he really did. It wasn't easy for him because we had nothing. Let's be honest, we had nothing. That squad was just full of garbage. It really was just full of garbage. And he had to start from scratch. No credit for that. Absolutely no credit for that. We need money, by the way. We need money. Absolutely no money. So we had to get in there and beg, steal, borrow, whatever. Trade cleverly, do deals, do whatever. But at the end of the day, he built a squad that won the league. They can't take that away from them. They won the league, and that's the end to it. And it's a minor miracle, if you ask me. It really is, because you had every team in the league fighting against us. No, I mean, as they do every game. The way I like it that way. I like a competitive league. I don't like anybody lying down. Like Aberdeen, Linda was saying before the programme started that Aberdeen fans texting each other to see if they wanted their team to actually score to make it 2 each. I mean, what's that about? That's nuts, by the way. But that's Scottish football for you. So he had all that to contend with, all the backdrop of hatred and all the rest of the nonsense that was going on at the time. And he actually pulled the club together, galvanised the club with his reputation and who he was, plus Wilson.
Nobody touched him through the end. He's maybe Mrs. Albers gave him a clout for getting worked up, but I'm sure he'll be back in a minute, Linda. But he was right in everything he said there, wasn't he?
Absolutely spot on. And that's the way it'll always be. It's the way it's always been. It's the way it'll always be. A good mate of mine's a Hibs fan, and when they got relegated the same year as us, I said to him, it was football that put you down. It was politics that put Rangers down. I said, so enjoy your stay down there with us. But I'm still bitter against all these people always. Well, I don't like using a word like that, but that's the way I feel about them. And I'll never ever forget what we all endured as Rangers fans. And now we're back at the top. I want us to stay there. I want us to win more trophies. I got fed up looking at Scott Brown lifting trophies against nobody. I want the jersey to get in here, get better, get stronger, and do the business. And I'm sure we will. Just keep working away at it and we'll get our Rangers back. We'll go to Rangers back. We'll be back bigger and stronger.
Aye, it's not where you start, it's where you finish, and then we'll laugh last, Linda.
Exactly right.
Absolutely, Ox. And as we said, the European stuff, it's been a major thing for us in terms of building that reputation back up. And Stevie G, he gave us that, and he restored our reputation in Europe. We've just got to kick on now, as Bob Jer says. We won the league title last year. That's not enough. We need to push on and get more trophies. But tomorrow night it's all about just enjoying the game, enjoying the opposition, and watching our team play in a great competition.
Billy, some real interesting stats tonight. But stats don't mean nothing when the game starts, do they?
That's right, mate. It's up to the individual footballers as a whole, mate, to go and perform and the best of your ability.
Aye.
Sorry,
You're right here, Albert.
Even my own phone get fed up listening to me.
Well, there's maybe a lesson in there.
No. Spot on what you said, Albert.
Here.
Thanks, Paul.
Carry on.
We're doing a wee bit of rant there.
No, you're right, though.
It's not like you're
right.
Don't like it. Right, when you go, Billy.
I know. Albert is bang on everything they said there as well. Look, with Steven Gerrard, we took a chance with Steven Gerrard, right? But the thing is, it was a gamble, but it was a good gamble because Rangers signed Steven Gerrard, the product. That's who we got. You know what I mean? So that was worth it in my eyes all day long. You know what I mean? We knew how long it was going to take for him to put a team out in the park. And by the way, we've just recently signed Giovanni Van Bronckhorst there. It was Steven Gerrard's team that has given us a coefficient for where we could possibly be in the summertime. You know what I mean? So we've got to look at it positively for that side of the coin as well, guys. You know what I mean? Because there's no money. Put it this way, I can't remember the last rookie manager that came into a club in any league and spent 3 seasons at his club and put his team into gave his country the country he was playing his managerial career was in, give them the coefficient that he's good Rangers and he's good Scotland. That's another good start, by the way. 3 seasons.
Anyway, I watched his team quickly on Sunday, and I bet you wish he was still at Ibrox, but that's another story. Well, gentlemen and ladies, I'm really surprised we're going to have to go and get somebody to knock Will Davies' door and make sure he's all right, Linda. But anyway, can I thank you all for joining? Here's a quick last word for Bob here.
Well, great discussion tonight. Absolutely brilliant. Covered a lot of things. Talking about the game tomorrow night, talking about where the club's been, talking about what we all love, the Glasgow Rangers. If we get a chance tomorrow night, Ryan Kent, Alfie, Big Joe, we get a chance, take the chance. You must. As Albert says here, if we can do this, we can go and give a capable performance, and if we get an opportunity, take the opportunity to get them back at Ibrox next week. And as Bud says at the end of the show, we are the Rangers need us, come on the Bears. And I'll see you all at a later date. Thank you very much indeed, ladies and gentlemen.
Cheers, Bob Chair. Good, Billy.
I just go out tomorrow night and perform. Perform, do us proud, Rangers. That's all we ask. Go out and perform and do us proud. On a Bears.
You here, Albert?
I agree with the two guys. Absolutely, mate. We'll go out there. We'll slaughter them. Absolutely slaughter them. Go out there and give it to them.
All right, okay. Just remember, Linda, it's a 5:45 kick-off, mate. You can just take the chase, yeah?
Yes, that's right. I'll take the end of it.
Yeah.
I might get up for that one. I might get up out my bed for that one.
I heard that you were getting up to watch Lingo, but that's another story. Over to you, Linda.
Oh, great show tonight, Ox. Enjoyed being on with all, Bear, and your good self. Lots of good chat, good callers. Just Rangers, go out tomorrow night. Hope they enjoy the game. As the guys have said, do us proud and just keep us in the tie and give us something to look forward to next week. But great show, Ox. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah, just to remind everybody, it is a 5:45 kick-off tomorrow night. We won't have a pre-match show, but we'll be back 8 o'clock to 10 as normal, discussing, hopefully, and I say hopefully, a Rangers victory. Thanks for listening. Thanks for Linda, Albert, Billy, Bob Gia, Tommy, and Ian for joining us. Fox and Old School Blue for doing the technicals, and everybody for listening and taking part in Rangers Radio. Stay safe. Take it away, Old School Blue.
As I was walking down the corridor, I met a bunch of strangers. They